Hey, y'all still watching? I'm barely watching, honestly. I am barely watching. And this last episode is the reason why. And so let's just get into it, I guess. So we are talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we gonna just say it off bat. This is not Atlanta. This is not our Atlanta, the millennials and above. This is not our Atlanta. They can have this. This episode was not that bad. I'm being facetious, but this is not Atlanta, and I don't really like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know what else to say. I had to put on my comfort sweater to even endure. Because what is Brittany's problem? Brittany is looking for a moment. She found it. She got it. And then she got retaliated on. And the person that was the victim originally is now the perpetrator. I never really dug Kenya, to be honest with you. But if you put Brittany, Edie, and Kenya Moore in a room, I am going to pick Kenya Moore every time. Brittany goes around calling women females. She don't got a lot of female friends. Her man needs to come and pick her up, a la Kim Zolciak. All of that rah that she was doing was so unnecessary because Kenya said 6 words to her. You wanted to be accepted so bad, or the target was always Kenya? I think it's the latter. Because it's Kenya. I mean, who are you, Brittany, other than an ex-video vixen? In high school, no less. That is not the flex that you think it is, by the way. Anyway, I had to get that little rant out. I'm sorry. Let's just get into the top of the episode. Angela and Britt. I dig Angela. Honestly, she gives off what we really want to see in Atlanta. But she does have that side that she could get down and dirty, a la calling Shamia Flavor Flav. My thing with Angela is that, why are you saying that Shamia's nose is up, Porsha's behind, when you were riding hard for Drew? So, like, what's the difference? There's no difference. I feel like Angela was just looking for a situation in Shamia and Porsha's relationship, which, by the way, Porsha, what was going on at that dinner table, honey? It was giving very much hate. And it's like, what is the point of that little back and forth that y'all had at the Balmain showroom? Was it a room? I don't know where that mall's at. Anyway, so this is where Brittany was asked about her husband, and then the gnat went down her throat. I don't know what that is. Maybe karma. We don't know. Then they went to go sit down. They didn't really work out. Like, I don't know. Whatever. The show is just so overproduced. It's just, there's no real moments, like real authentic moments in this whole production. Anyways, so this is where Brittany calls women females, and red flag. Anyway, I'm looking at my notes, guys. And I'm going to keep with the Brittany portion of it, and I'm gonna go to the mid of the episode. Brittany, from the first episode, she is giving what I thought she was, what I assumed she was, and it proved my point when she was talking to her sister Cher, and her sister was like, I'm not jealous of you, basically paraphrasing, I'm not jealous of you and your man, you can have your husband around, but when I want to have my sister time, why is Mike always there? Mike is always around. Mike is always trying to be a dictator of all the things. And Brittany is not hearing her. What Brittany says in her confessional is, my sister is upset that she don't have a relationship as I do. That is not what she said at all. Are you being so serious right now? Like, your sister literally said she wanted time to mend you and her relationship. Y'all's relationship. She literally said at that dinner, I'm not mad that you have a man. Like, you can go ahead and do that. I would love to have us one-on-one time. That is dwindling down. I am not trying to take over to make you choose between me and your husband. I just want, when I say I need my sister, I don't need my sister and Mike. Period, point blank. She did not hear that. She heard, my sister's miserable. We lost our dad. She don't have a man. Anyway, we already talked about Angela and how she and Shamia are literally riding for their friends, supporting their friends and trying to stick up for their friends, because Drew and Angela are friends, but Shamia and Porsha are really friends. Not right now, but on the show, well, that's dwindling as well. Anyway, so we get to Shamia outside in her, whatever that outfit was. You know what Shamia means? Like, Shamia is a good housewife because she brings the opulence. She brings like humble beginnings, blah, 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 right? And she's funny, she's cute, and she can sing. What makes me compare her to like Garcelle? Garcelle is very humble. Garcelle is very, she has her own standards and things like that. But the dressing, like the fashions, I just don't people say money makes you do all the things and money makes things better. But if you don't have it in you, baby, pay somebody to do it for you. I don't know what Shamia got going on. I can't afford the stuff that she wears. Hey, and I'm okay with that. But I'm saying somebody could be in a Shein outfit and you don't know that, and you see Shamia or somebody that is a label, and which one would you like more? Would you like it because somebody's wearing labels or because they look good in the outfit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I could critique that. And Shamia gives off that she has to wear designer every single time. Like, all of them, actually. Like, every single one of them has to. Like, I don't need to know that you're wearing Chanel. You see what I'm saying? Chanel has a distinctive design that if you put on that Chanel jacket, I'm going to know it's Chanel, but I'm going to know it's Chanel and it's classy and it's not just screaming the C's all over the place. Or when you wear like a Fendi outfit, you got to see all the F's everywhere. Like, you buy a Michael Kors bag or outfit, you got to see all the MKs everywhere. I do not like labels. Like, I don't like labels on outfits. It's weird. It's weird. Yeah. Let me see. What else? Because I'm not going to hold y'all long. I promise you. Because this episode was just, this is the reason, Kenya? This is the reason you went down low in the gutter? It really didn't. Both of y'all were like, anyway, we're going to get there. We're going to pin it. So we talking about Shamia. Shamia, I think Shamia is doing the absolute correct thing with this platform. Girl, you and Drew get y'all music career started. And I have not heard Drew's album yet, but I've heard people listen to it and they said that it's good. And I'm not knocking Drew. Drew is an actress. Drew is a singer. One thing that she always is and will continue to do is lie. So, whatever. It's to the point, like, if she gets to the Mia lie of it is that she still believes her lies. I feel like at this point, Drew know that she lied. And then at some point, she's going to own up to the lie because she just needs that time to get her stuff together. She don't want to tell the truth right now. She want to tell the truth later. But all that stuff catches up with her. And dare I say I agree with her with Porsha. Because Drew did reach out, however lame the reach out was, right? And Porsha was like, I'm going to talk to you when I talk to you. And at that point, I agree with Drew. Like, girl, you talk to me when you want to talk to me. And if you don't, oh well. Like, it's really not that serious. I think Porsha's persona of Drew is our persona of Drew. And she think that Drew has some type of conniving thing going on. She may. I don't know. She may have something going on. But that girl is just making an album. Don't nobody want Dennis. And I still can't figure out what's the big deal of him. I mean, they still film together. So, like, what is the deal? And my thing is, she should be mad at Dennis only. Drew should have a talking to as a friend. Like, why are you trying to work? Well, why are you working with Pilar's dad? And you didn't come to me and say, I'm working with Dennis. Dennis said he's going to talk to you about it. I just don't want to have no situations. And Porsha know that Drew do not want Dennis. What Drew is doing is using Dennis to get clout. That is what she is doing. What Porsha doesn't want is Dennis cocking out of his neck about Porsha. And I'm going to stand on that. Because she really cannot be that mad at Drew. She should be mad at that man. I heard the album is good. Maybe Drew will help Dennis as well reach the top and get some other artists so he can produce their albums. I don't know. Whatever. So again, Drew and Shamia are using the platform as what they should. Get y'all singing careers going on. And I agree with Bonnie Scott because I watched portion of her video on this episode, and she said that Drew and Shamia are sorry. She said that Shamari should have did the same thing, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think Shamari DeVoe should have definitely dropped at least a single or two before she left. Ask me if I watched Drew and that man in the basement, him downstairs segment. I didn't. I fast forwarded, so don't ask me. I can only deal with one lie on the screen. Don't give me two. And I fast forward through his confessional as well. And I heard that he had no clothes on. And he toured his basement, him downstairs. Child, y'all can have it. No, thank you. Next. Okay, Porsha. I don't know what you're trying to say to us or what you're trying to convey that your life was and what it is now. There is nothing wrong with a woman trying to better her life and marrying a man that has means. I don't call them gold diggers. Call them whatever you want. Are you living the life? Are you doing the things to get married to a man that makes millions? Supposedly, allegedly. Porsha went into that woman's house, became her friend, and all of a sudden her and Simon are together. They went on about their business. They had 18 weddings. They went to Nigeria. They was always in Costa Rica or St. Lucia, wherever they were always at, Bahamas. They was not in America most of the time of their marriage, baby. I wonder why. So Porsha, you cannot come on this screen and say the soft life is over because I decided to blah, 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 blah. You did not go into that marriage blind, honey. You did not. You went into that marriage thinking that it was something else and that you could change it. And you didn't. Now, I do believe that she may not have known about his immigration status, but she knew about that money. Her and what's that woman named? Phaedra, they knew that their partners were scamming. Can't nobody tell me different. Because Phaedra is one thing that Phaedra is a smart woman. And she knew Apollo supposedly forever. And know that man didn't hold no good job. So where all this money coming from? Okay. What was that? What was her cousin doing at the table? Like, this is why I say that this show is so overproduced. What was the point of him saying that Drew called me and told me that she was working with Dennis? What was the reason for that? Anyway, and then they're going to say that some of the ambassadors are not, she needs to have people that are serious about their content. And I don't know, Drew is shiesty. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. But what I'm saying is that one thing Drew does is she does things or she wants to do them big. She may not have the means, or even she may not even have the drive, but she wants to do things big. So her wanting to do a video with Go Naked Hair and speaking to someone that works in the corporation headquarters of Go Naked Hair, I mean, that's the different story that they were telling us. She was going behind Porsha's back. Apparently, her cousin, Lottie, what was his name? Lottie, knew that she was trying to film a video. Anyway, I don't know. This whole Porsha Drew thing seems so forced. It's weird. Kelly, I kind of like Kelly now. She's growing on me a little. The chemistry and the environment that Kenya and Kelly have at Kenya's hair spa, I liked it. That looked like an authentic thing. This is your call sheet. You're going to Kenya's place. Y'all are going to talk about, maybe y'all husbands will talk about whatever comes to mind because y'all have things in common. Y'all are divorced. Y'all are trying to be entrepreneurs, blah, blah, blah. That type of producing is needed for reality TV. That makes things happen organically. Like, this scene looked organic. This is the old Atlanta. This new Atlanta, I don't know. But that scene with Kelly and Kenya and her crying about, I hope this works. And I looked up Kenya's hair spa, honey, and the website is not working. And I don't see no reviews. I don't know if it's open. Somebody please tell me if the Kenya hair spa is open. I hope it is. I hope it is. Because I really felt for Kenya in that moment, because you and Kelly, I felt the way Kelly felt for Kenya, because you putting all of your eggs in this one basket. And it's got to work somehow. And I hope it does. Honestly, I hope it does. Now, okay. We are going to this dinner that Angela Oakley has nicely arranged for these ladies. Kenya coming in this teal Versace dress. Was it Versace? What was it? I don't know. It was pretty. You couldn't tell what it was. Like, that's the type of fashion I be talking about. Like, you don't really, like a lay person like myself, don't really know what type of dress that is, but we know that it costs a nice coin. You know what I'm saying? It looked good. Now, Kenya, why you didn't come in a black dress? You could have went and bought a black dress. I was like, have we seen Kenya in black? I don't think we have seen her in black. I like, we kind of could believe that she don't own anything black, but girl, you could have went to the Real or Rent the Runway or went to Lenox or wherever to buy a black dress, girl. Come on. Or borrowed it from somebody. You was being Kenya. This is the type of carrying on that annoys me with her. Like, she purposely does things to make herself the villain, and then she goes back and be like, what? Girl, stop. And the fact that she showed her coochie at the table, whew, child. Anyway, so we are at this dinner. Notes closed, because this is going to be the last of it. Those questions. How I forget? Porsha and her messiness. Shamia and Porsha have been friends since they were teenagers. You are going to be at this table while your best friend plays a song and says, is that Drew? And she say, no, that is not Drew. That's me. Then she listens and she was like, that's not Shamia's voice. I know my friend's voice. That is not her voice. Well, who is this? And then goes to her confessionals and lie and says, I said it was Drew because it sounded good. You're a liar. You were hating for why? What was the reason for that, Porsha? That is nasty. Like, what is really going on? Like, are we gonna get the backstory of why she was messy at that table? I guess we gotta wait for the reunion maybe, because the rest of the show is gonna be about Brittany and Kenya for the next 2 episodes. Anyway, so now that is over. So they have this little box where they say they want to ask questions. So Kenya gets about a couple questions. Kenya shows her coochie. Okay, whatever. So, oh my gosh, how I forget. So when everybody came in, everybody got a little, blah, blah, blah. But Brittany, Kenya stooped down to pat you, to not, she didn't have to do that, because Kenya knows how to ignore somebody she does not like, honey. She was being nice. And this is coming from me, that I have not been a fan. I cannot find anything nice to say about Kenya, to be honest with you. But in this point, and as I said on the top of this video, if you put Brittany Edie and Kenya Moore in a room, I'm going to pick Kenya Moore every time. Because why, as soon as she walk in, you on go. You ready to go. She's like, because you brought up Kenya every episode, and we are only in episode 4. Kenya has not done anything to you other than ask you about your ring. And I ain't watched every single episode, and I'm not gonna. But what I do know is that you have talked about her every time. And the fact that Ralph got a confessional and Kenya can't get not one, get out of here. Anyway, I just want to say that Brittany she came into this producing her life, because what does Mike do? No. Brittany says she sold her business. So what do they both do? It's giving scammer fraudulent vibes. I don't know. Whatever they're showing us on the screen is giving me scammer. It's giving Jen Shaw, to be honest. Like, it is. Because Jen's husband was a retired basketball player. No, I think, yeah, he was a retired player, I think. Don't get me to line, because I didn't really watch the first season for real. But he was a coach for a college, so that's why he was always on the road. Jen didn't do nothing. She had an assistant, and we never saw what Jen did. Well, let me just say, for me, who did not watch fully this season, I didn't know what Jen did until she was arrested. It's giving that same vibe with Brittany and Mike. I don't know. She's giving Kim as well. Where's my husband? Where's my husband? Girl, every single person at that table was like, why are you carrying on like this? What is going on? Drew was like, when they was leaving, Drew was like, she didn't want to talk to Brittany. She didn't want to talk to Kenya. She was like, I'm ready to go. Did you not see how fast Drew was trying to get out of that place? Anyway. And Drew, stop lying. Just say you didn't buy nothing yet, girl. You got it on hold or something. Lord. Anyways, so Brittany already started. She was already on 10. Because she was like, that was a pat. That wasn't a hug. So they sitting down next to each other. They having a decent time. Kenya and Porsha with their banter. It was really cute. It was giving Real Housewives of Atlanta. Right? So then, there's finally the last question is, Brittany wrote that question. Brittany wrote that question. Because who else? Who else would write it? But then, did she write 2? I think she wrote 2, because there was one thing about why she's so competitive with women. And then the other one was like, can you talk to people nicely without an attitude? Brittany wrote both of those things. Can I be wrong? Of course I could be wrong. But I believe, honey, I believe Brittany wrote them things for Kenya. Because what else she got going on other than to argue with Kenya, who is kind of like the original housewife? I hope Brittany watches that episode and realizes that she looked a damn fool. It's an edited show. You trying to tell me that Kenya's saying queens cannot talk to peasants, and I am a moment, and you are trying to look for a moment at this time? make you act like that? Girl, stop projecting your insecurities, baby. You trying to say that females don't like you? You don't like females. You are a pick-me from Atlanta. Your biggest flex is that you were a video vixen at 16. Girl, stop it. Stop it, stop it, and stop it. Because you're looking a fool. Now, Kenya did say that she was going to get vindicated because that girl did say something about, you know, pistols or whatever. And none of that warranted the words that Kenya said. None of that. Like, girl, you was hyping up. It looked like you was doing that for like 10 minutes. Where's my husband? Where's my husband? She gonna find out. Blah, blah, blah. But girl, you looked so ridiculous. Like, I was looking at the screen and I was like, girl, was that really? Did she say something else? Because if she said something else, then it couldn't have been like, girl, you're looking for a moment, which you were. You got me agreeing with Kenya. Like, you were looking for a moment. She answered your question. She said, can you talk to Brittany without an attitude? She said, yes, I can. I can talk to everybody without any. It's not about everybody. It's about me. I have the floor. Kenya was so right to say, girl, you were looking for a moment. You can have it. And she went right on ahead and had that moment for the next 15 minutes. It was so ridiculous. Now, Kenya played herself, right? And they both went over the top. Kenya took it to hell. And I think if she was going to do that, she grown, she going to do it regardless. And she chose to do that. The fact that she chose to do that in her business was her biggest mistake. I would have never, me as somebody that just cried to a friend saying that I have to make this work because I have to bring back this money that I took to make this successful. And people with money can say that. People without money can say, how am I going to make this 15 into 20? It's the same thing, just big numbers, bigger numbers. Everybody has those thoughts. The wealthy do not. They have other businesses to deal with. But in the realm of somebody of having a net worth of maybe $8 million, they still have to think about, I'm putting $500,000 into this business and I need this to work. There's nothing wrong with that. So her having all of those concerns, and then in her mind, she thought that I would try and embarrass this woman because she thought she could come from me and do that in my place of business. It's not a good look, Kenya. It's not a good look. And that's where I come in and I say I was never really her fan because this is the things that she does. Kenya is the type of person that sometimes split her nose to spite her face. Like, why would you do that in your business? Because you thought that it wasn't that low that Bravo and production would come in and be like, this is not what we doing over here, Kenya. This is not it. This isn't it. You thought that you were safe. You thought you were safe. You thought you was a queen bee. And you're like, this is my establishment. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm going to embarrass you in my business. You did, but you also played yourself. Because now they used all of your scenes. And now you're gone. And that girl is still here. I don't know, y'all. This is not Atlanta. And I don't know how I feel about it. This episode was a 6 for me. It was entertaining to watch Brittany act like a fool. Brittany is a pick-me. She definitely is. She gives more value to men looking at her and giving her, like, accolades than a friend or a sister could give her. I don't know where that comes from because not everybody got daddy issues. Because from what she's saying, their dad was their anchor. He was there. I don't know how close they were, but he was in her life from what we can deduct from what she's saying. So I don't know where her male gaze influence comes from and why she started to gain it at such a young age. I don't know what that is. It's not a weird thing. because there's plenty of women of my age, younger, that do the same thing. So that is something that that she has to deal with, and her insecurities that she has to deal with. That's how she handles women. Anybody that she thinks has a higher status than her as a woman, she comes for them. And that's why she came for Kenya. And Kenya didn't send for her, and Kenya showed her who she was. And that's who Kenya is, exactly what she did at her hair spa, and that's why she is no longer on Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's sad to see, because everybody was like, oh, Kenya, you're talking about this, you're talking about that. Brittany said those things. Brittany said those things. Kenya put pictures in her establishment to embarrass Brittany. Kenya was the only one that got reprimanded, which is trash. Brittany should have got reprimanded as well. I think the both of them should have got reprimanded. I think the both of them should have got deduction of pay. And then the both of them should have came back in some type of capacity on this show. Because now you want to bring Phaedra back as a Hail Mary. Phaedra is not going to come back in probably like episode 10 or something. They probably only have like 13 episodes. This is not Atlanta. And I don't know where they're going to go from here. The next episode is where Kenya is going to show her entire behind, which she does always. Because can't nobody ever tell me that her and Apollo ain't did nothing. And I'm going to leave that there how I always do. Listen, are y'all going to watch every single episode? I really ain't. I'm not pressed to watch this because this is not Atlanta. It's not. And I guess it is, but it's not the Atlanta that I know. And I'm not wishing for, because we're never going to get that lightning in a bottle again, man. We're never going to get it. We're never, ever going to get it back. I think them bringing Porsha back in, they really tried. They have to, I don't know, Shamia need to get new friends. Because Porsha, what is that? That was so shady and nasty. And not even nice nasty. It was nasty. You sitting at a table, she's saying that this is my song, and you're saying that that's not you. That's Drew. You don't even like Drew like that. Girl, what was that? If you guys made it this far, thank you so much. Like, subscribe to the channel. It helps the new and upcoming bloggers that come up on here on these new YouTube streets, because things are changing everywhere. Follow me on TikTok, Threads. His name is the same. Taisha's watching. And, I'll see y'all in the next one. And I love y'all for watching. Bye.